Alright, let's get this shit over with. I just want to make fun videos, like making fun of the MCU, and making fun of Game of Thrones, and racial slur analysis, and stuff like that. Alright. World War III, Part 2. The How. So in the Why video, we established that a large-scale war is the most humane choice to solve the problem of overpopulation. The other two being a less controllable pandemic, and the third being just waiting for us to starve to death. But how? How do you start a large-scale war? A little term I'm going to coin right now called 4D chess. Wait, everybody already says that? Alright, well the way that I use it is to play a game with a strategy that focuses on an iteration higher than the standard. To play a move ahead. The principle is this. You don't make moves that give you what you want, you make moves that weaken the position of your opponent. In chess this is called tactic and strategy. A tactic is a move that you use that puts your opponent in a bad position. A strategy is a larger set of moves that move your opponent to just where you want them for an eventual strike. In this situation, we have globalists who need to kill off a very large section of the population. But the rub is that they don't want to just go out and do it themselves. The tactic is to demonize one of those blocks in the minds of all the others. So in this situation, the real problem is not just how to kill a whole population block of people, but how do you get your own people to do it? How do I get my own people to pick up a bunch of machine guns and go kill a huge block of people for me? Well, how would I get me to kill a bunch of strangers? I'm just some guy. You couldn't get me to kill any strangers. Oh wait, yeah you could. If I was convinced that there was a huge group, a huge homogenous group of people that were out to get me, basic survival instincts would kick in, and yeah, I could go get me to pick up a gun. That's 4D chess in this situation. Not how to kill massive numbers of people, but how do you get your own Western people to go kill them for you? Well, how do they do it? Divide and conquer using population blocks. To kill a couple million people would be difficult to justify. To kill a billion or more would be nearly impossible to justify. Unless those people could be considered a homogeneous group that is dangerous, justifying their deaths is just as easy as justifying what about that original homogeneous group is dangerous to begin with. You've all seen those IQ test questions. If all sklinks are sklorks and all sklorks are booby babies, well then how many sklinks are booby babies? All of them. If all group X of people are sklorks and all sklorks are dangerous, then how many of those people are dangerous? All of them. All the booby babies are dangerous because they're all sklorks, and fuck sklorks! Fuck the sklorks, let's get them! So if there's a bunch of people, and I can convince everyone else that they're part of a single group, and then I can convince them that that group is dangerous, then all of those people are now dangerous. Therefore, to think about the target, we have to think about population blocks, as in a billion or more people, who can all be blanketed with a single statement. Well, let's take a look at the population blocks that we have. You got to your American West. I'll call that North and South America. North is sort of the leader, while South is sort of the abused worker. We'll call that about a billion. Then you got your European West, what we currently call pussies. Just kidding, Europe. But I mean, like, enough with censorship and shit. We you bowls. We you fucking bowls. We'll call that a billion too. The Muslim world, stretching from North Africa to Southeast Asia, call them just under 2 billion. Remember, these groups are not just based on region, but culture. So when considering groups of people, the Muslims and the Africans aren't really considered in the same way because African is considered its own thing, while Muslim is considered its own thing as well. Same thing with India. There are a lot of Muslims in India, but I wouldn't consider the Indian bloc Muslim. Then African Africa. 500 million, I think. Then we got East Asia. Another big one. But that in reality is 2 blocks. The Indians and the Chinese. China's over 1 billion, and so is India, but much of India is also Muslim, so let's call those two, we'll call them 2 billion. Then the remaining billion is everywhere else. The remaining billion isn't large enough in any one area or considered a major block of people that can be easily enough purged. Because remember, it's not just about finding the enemy. It's about finding an enemy you can easily destroy to annihilate the maximum amount of humans in a culture war. And culture wars have to be about a specific culture. They don't want to have to do this twice. So finding 4 enemies, therefore cultures, isn't good enough. It's got to be one big one. And one big one that you can get everyone to dislike all at once. Is it going to be the American West? Nah, not that one. America is founded on multiple cultures working together to create a secular, individuality-based culture that we can all enjoy. Regardless of what the media says, it's a little hard to get people to hate America. Everyone still wants to live here because we're a combination of accepting, kind, and fucking tough. Europe? Nah, not that one. Europe is the lapdog of the globalists. Europe does what they say. That's why they yell at America so much. We haven't pussed out quite as much as Europe has. Yet. So they yell at us and call us bad and rude people because if you're the little ship-shaped slave bitch, then of course the tough guy seems like he's being a jerk. Plus, Europe is also beautiful and lots of globalists live there in castles and shit. Africa? No, not that one. Not enough of them. Plus, they're all too different from one another to make a blanket statement about them. Plus, Africa already sucks from an infrastructure standpoint, and it's being used by globalists to build factories to mine its resources. A war in this area would waste a lot of fresh money in a place where people can't really stop you from abusing them with your billions of Chinese dollars. Oh, Chinese! China? No, not that one. China is the test run for the globalists. China is what they want to make the whole world into. A centrally controlled superstate of ants, ethnically similar people who support their overlord government. China is what they want for the rest of the world. And what they do to the Chinese is, in my opinion, a way to test how people react to certain social controls for the future implementation of it on every country. Having been tried and tested in a good old ant colony, People's Hive, People's Republic of China. So there's only two left. Who could it be? In an entirely unrelated note, check out this map from 1984, the book. The white is the frontier, as in the general battleground for the three superstates. Hey, I didn't say it, so you can't flag this video. Next time. The Who. I'm not making these videos fast enough because apparently this plan is already in effect. At this point, I really don't plan on being able to stop it. With my 29 subs, I also don't expect to be able to tell enough people for it to even matter. But I do get to say I told you so later. Alright, peace out, man.